Hi everyone and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're thinking about starting a GLP-1 like semaglutide or tirzepatide, I need you to watch this first. Because there are things that I wish somebody had told me before I started, things that would have saved me from like the nausea, the frustration, and just a lot of trial and error. When I first started my GLP-1 journey, I thought it was simple. You just take the shot, eat less food, and you lose weight. But what I didn't realize is that the medication changes a lot more than just your appetite. So in this video, I'm sharing the biggest things that I wish I knew before starting, so you can have a smoother and easier experience. So appetite suppression on a GLP-1. I don't know if anybody explains this enough. Like, yes, they tell that to you, but I don't know if they explain it properly. Like, it's not just less hungry, it's food doesn't feel exciting anymore. And when you spend your entire life having that food noise and that mental chatter about food constantly, to go feeling from excited about food to just neutral or like bleh, or just not even thinking about it at all is a crazy shift. So the appetite suppression could look like that you just don't eat, or you forget to eat, I should say. Nothing sounds good. Like, again, you just feel very neutral about food, or somebody asked you, oh, what's for dinner? Your husband asked you, what's for dinner? And you're just like, oh, I don't know. I don't feel like anything. I don't feel like eating anything. Or you get full very quick, which is most of the time that's what it is. Like, you take like 3 bites and then you're just like, I don't want this anymore. Or you eat half your plate. Like, tonight is my shot night, so for lunch I had soup, and I was really excited about this soup. It's obviously Panera broccoli and cheddar soup. But I knew that tonight is my shot, and so that kind of mental chatter and me getting excited for this soup, that's kind of a red flag that I know it's time for my shot, basically. So I'll take it tonight, and then the rest of the week until the medication starts wearing off, till next Wednesday, then a little bit of that food chatter might come back. And none of that is necessarily wrong, it's just how the medication works. Another thing I wish I knew is that when your appetite drops, it's really, really easy to undereat protein, or like not get enough protein in. Now, I'm guilty of that even just before I was on the GLP-1 medication. I am like a snacker. I come from a family of snackers. Like, we just do not eat a lot. Like, I can eat cheese and crackers just for dinner and be fine with it. My husband cannot even fathom that idea because he's just all about protein, protein, protein. So that helps me in this case, because he really keeps me on track. Because if it were just up to me, I would just, again, I just ate soup for lunch. And I mean, it's not about being perfect every day, because that was not a perfect protein first meal. It is what it is, and I just wanted broccoli and cheddar soup. So yeah, if you're not eating enough protein during this journey, obviously that's going to lead to muscle loss. It definitely slows down your metabolism, and then that leads to fatigue. So now I can say, for the most part, I always try and get protein in first. Of course, I'm always going to have my hot protein coffee or the iced protein shake that I have my espresso mixed into. So first and foremost, the first part of the day, I'm always going to get that protein in. Lunch, depending on work, how busy I am, whether or not I have a specific craving, yes, I will try and do a salad with, grilled chicken or hard-boiled eggs. But if a specific craving comes in, like again, this broccoli cheddar soup, I'm going to indulge in that and just be fine with it. And then once dinner comes back around, I really try and get back on track. Like, we do, ground chicken, ground beef, and then a pasta. Or I have been using actually that protein pasta that I tried in my other video for the protein finds. I've really come to enjoy it and know that it's like I'm getting that pasta feeling, but getting that protein in, and then having the ground beef or the ground chicken mixed in the sauce on top of that is like a double whammy, and it's just so good. Another mistake that I see a lot of people making, or when they leave comments on my videos, is all about hydration. Hydration is not optional when you're on a GLP-1. I don't care if you don't like water, if you don't like the taste of plain water. Get something to mix it in, or get electrolyte packets, or like those Gatorade, or what did they used to be? Crystal Light packets. They still make those. get something to mix in your water so you can drink it. Because if not, it's going to lead to dehydration, headaches, nausea, fatigue. Literally every single side effect, for the most part, can be fixed by just getting more hydration. And this is why I always have my 40-ounce Simple Modern tumbler. I'll leave a link to it down below. She is my best friend. I take her everywhere with me, and I try to drink 2 of those a day. And also they come in like a lot of different colors and patterns. This is obviously my black cheetah that I love so much. And also just to hop on the back of that, water, just plain water, sometimes doesn't cut it. Sometimes you do have to add in electrolytes if you are feeling what I say, I feel low. That means it feels like my blood pressure is low. Going into a GLP-1, I have low blood pressure to begin with. So before all this, I always had electrolyte packets on hand. So when I felt low, which means I felt like sluggish, heavy, I don't know how to describe it, like gravity was pulling me down, if that makes sense. Or just, I just felt like groggy. That is like my blood pressure is low. And so I will add electrolyte packets to a water bottle and basically chug that and it makes me feel better. Another mistake that I found out on my own is not slowing down when you eat at first. When you first get on this medication. If you are still eating at your usual pace and scarfing down dinner, you're gonna regret that. So even if you just slow down by like 20% when you're eating, now I know that's hard, obviously, if you're eating dinner with your family, or if you, like me, have 2 toddlers that are going crazy. Actually, that actually helps when I have the kids sitting here and I'm trying to feed one or yelling at the other to sit back down in his chair and not run away and go get toys. That actually helps me slow down. So hey, maybe if you have little kids, you want to sit down and eat with them because you're going to be all distracted and have one bite, 2 minutes later have another bite, 2 minutes later, then maybe you won't eat so fast. Follow along for more life hacks. So yeah, just eating slower and really paying attention to those fullness cues that I talked about in some other videos, that you really need to stop eating at the first sign that you feel full. Also, how you prep for injection day really, really matters. You really should be hydrating day before, day of, and day after. Again, this is what I personally do, and I really found that it really mitigates all those side effects. Definitely eat lighter meals, or a lighter meal if you inject yourself at night like I do. Like for dinner tonight, I'll probably just do pasta with ground chicken and sauce, and then I'll just do like half a bowl, and I will stop myself. Even if I'm still a little hungry, I know I won't be once I inject myself and I wake up tomorrow. I'm not going to be hungry at all. So yeah, and also along with that, avoid overeating. And then tomorrow or the next day, it's not really so much anymore, but at the beginning, I definitely planned for like a lower energy type of day. When I was at work, I would work ahead. If we were in our busy season, I would work ahead so that tomorrow I can kind of be a little bit more lazy. Right now, we're not too busy. So, and also right now, like I know how to manage these side effects ahead of time, so I don't really have them anymore. And also, I am now leveled out on the medication, like, stable, I should say. So my body doesn't really react like that, like negatively anymore, to these medications. And going into that is that side effects are manageable, but also can be predictable. So they definitely aren't random, and it comes down to, I think, how you prepare yourself before and after the shot. And the most common ones, obviously, it's the nausea, fatigue, and constipation. They are definitely linked to how hydrated you are, your food choices, and eating too much or too fast. And then also you can add in like a fiber supplement or something like that if you're constipated as well, which I never had a problem with, so I don't really have any advice on that from my personal experience. If anything, it affects me the other way, TMI. But another mistake is dose increases. Now, my husband is a pharmacist, my brother-in-law is a doctor, so I knew going in about dose increases, not doing it too fast. Again, this isn't something that I can speak to personally, but it is something that I have seen people go through, and people in my comments too talking about it, that you don't want to dose up too fast. And not, and not be in the mindset that or the frame of mind thinking that dosing up faster is going to get you better results, because that's just not how this works. When you move up too fast, you're definitely going to have worse side effects. You're probably going to burn out or even reach like the maximum level of dose, and then you're going to plateau later. And when I say burn out, I mean you're going to be burnt out from the negative side effects that you're getting, and you're just like, no, I can't do this. This is too much for me. I can't deal with the nausea. But it's really, your dose is just too high. You just needed to scale back a little bit, and then you could stay on the medication. If you want more on that topic, I have an entire video about that, so I'll link that up above. But staying at a dose that works for you, and I talk about those red flags to look out for, so watch that video. But staying at a dose that works for you is the smarter move than moving up if you don't know what to do. And one thing that surprised me, I guess, before getting on the GLP-1s was that how much the food noise really affected me day to day in my life before GLP-1s. Because it's not just like the physical hunger in you that changes or that disappears. It was the constant thoughts about food. And when that volume gets turned down, it's such like an aha moment that you're just like, you have this clarity in your mind that I've never had before. I mean, it's mind-blowing. And I think only people on the GLP-1s, when you've had that food noise and mental chatter your whole life, only people that get on GLP-1s know what I'm talking about and can share this experience, that it is just like a wave of like calm. Yeah, like a wave of calm comes over your brain, and you're just like more at peace with yourself, like less obsessing over the pantry or over my next meal or over the ice cream in the freezer. Now I totally forgot that we had ice cream in the freezer until I just mentioned it right now. But the emotional side of it, the emotional habits, they don't disappear on this medication, and you really still have to work on those. So that goes into the next thing that I learned was when your coping mechanism, which used to be food, is not there anymore, you have to feel and deal with all of your feelings and all of your thoughts very clear and upfront in your mind. So like if you used to eat when you were stressed, or if you used to eat when you were bored, you kind of have to work through those, and because food isn't there anymore to be like your comfort blanket. But I feel like this is one of the big things about mindset, where like this is where the real growth happens, because you have to work through those emotions that you used to just like cover in food. Well, now you really have to face yourself with why you used to do this and why you have these bad habits and bad patterns, and you can really see, you know, how bad the habits were. And the last point that I want to make is probably the most important, but it really is finding a provider or a doctor that works with you. When I first started these, I was working with my primary care doctor here locally, like I see her in the office. Of course, I had done, you know, research, YouTube research basically, and she's great. She let me go at my own speed. She, first of all, okayed the medication, because a lot of people, you know, are scared to talk to their doctors, or they think that they're not gonna okay a prescription for them. But she said, you know, you let me know when you want to dose up. You know, pay attention to these cues, pay attention to any red flags, and we'll go at your pace, which is fantastic. I wish all doctors acted that way about not only this, but about everything. Especially if you're a woman, then you know. But I digress. And now I am getting my medication through LEMD, and they have a really good support system, really good guidance. I just went through the first, I guess my first round of refills, because I just finished up the first 3 months. So I went through, it's like a little survey that you go through, and they ask you if you want any more support or any more guidance on like emotional eating habits or more like mental health stuff, which I thought was really, really interesting, because my primary care doctor didn't, you know, ask me about any of that. Obviously, I talked to her about everything, so she had a little bit more on her mind during my visits than just that. but I just thought it was really good. I mean, this was my first experience going through a prescription refill through LEMD. And I thought the questions that they were asking were really good. You can always message your doctor at any time on their platform, which is really, really convenient. And then my prescription was packed up and sent out. I think it was on Monday. I got the text with the tracking, and it was delivered on Tuesday. So that's also amazing. And also, I think my mom signed up for microdosing through LEMD, and they sent her the tracking, and it somehow like got stuck in Tennessee or like Kentucky or something for like days on end. And I was like, Mom, that's not normal. You should have the text that you got shipped, and then you should basically have it the next day. Like, we only live 10 minutes apart. So she contacted LEMD, and they were like, oh my God, that's totally not normal. So they sent her prescription again, but instead of the pharmacy that they use is Clover. So I guess they have different like satellite locations. So instead of the one location that originally sent her medication, they sent it to the other one, and she got it next day. So, and if you're interested, if you're doing your research, if you're not on a GLP-1 and you're still doing your research, I'll leave a link to LEMD below, and you can do some research for yourself. And they have a lot more than just GLP-1 medications. They have like all the peptides. There's like, this whole peptide craze going on. I don't do anything other than GLP-1s just because I'm kind of scared to do the other stuff, even though my husband's a pharmacist. But they do all kinds of different stuff on their website too. So in closing, I just want you guys to know, if you are about to start on your GLP-1, I know some of you in the comments on my last video or 2 videos ago said you're waiting to start, or you're waiting for your medication to arrive, or you have a meeting with your doctor and you really want to ask to get on the GLP-1s, which I'm so excited for you guys to experience this, because it is, I know it sounds lame, but it's such a game changer for people that have been struggling with their weight and dieting their entire life. The only word I can think of is game changer. Like, it literally changes the game of your life. Yeah, so if you are still doing your research or you're about to start, I just want to encourage you and root for you, and know that I'm here. I read all of your comments. I respond to questions if they're nice ones. Even if they're not nice ones, I respond too. I think a lot of the times is you're just looking for the right information from the right person to really encourage you, to get you moving in the right direction. And if you are about to start a GLP-1, or you did just start, then I suggest watching this video next, because this is all about my Amazon finds that I literally use day in and day out. My entire list, basically my entire life on this Amazon video list, and I think you'll get some good ideas in this. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.